Okay, we're back. This is Arielle and Janelle.
Hello again, ladies.
You know my name, Steve Schiffman.
Steve, you
Attorney.
you had to introduce yourself. And my co-host right now for the View of Las Vegas, live right now inside the house of little Christopher, and also along with the grandma. Grandma, right?
The glamour.
Well, let's go back to little Christopher. I know a lot of people, and especially Channel 13, is still following the story of little Christopher. So the improvement went well because of hyperbaric, correct? That's an oxygen supporting little Christopher right now. And then later on, when he gets well, you're gonna be bringing probably the stem cells, correct? That's the one I'm trying to understand, right?
Yes, yes. Dr. Paul Hart out of New Orleans, he is the godfather of hyperbaric oxygen in the world right now. And he is discovered with traumatic brain injury after the 80th dive or treatment, that's when stem cells starts to grow in the brain. And so now that we have stem cell that we can administer besides hyperbaric, when you put those together, it could be a dynamic duo. Because once we can get the baby stem cell count up, it'll start restoring his brain and the extremities of his body that have been affected by the drought.
So basically, the hyperbaric is helping little Christopher to have air inside, oxygen inside of his body. So until that oxygen perform properly inside of his body, now they're gonna bring the stem cell, correct?
Yes, yes. And so we can incorporate both the treatments together along with neurofeedback. Neurofeedback can reset the brain to the rest of the body. The neural pathways of the brain and the frequency of the brain can reconnect like a car. You know, when your car's not running right, you have to have it reset and diagnostic. And so we can read that in him now. We can see the problem, and he's a little bit of an experiment, but everything we're doing is totally safe. So this family, Cynthia and Ted, are been amazing how they've just been so accommodating and taking the story public. Because we have over 3,500 babies drown in America every year.
Is little Christopher can move now? No.
Well,
Grandma, what do you think, Grandma? Because you've been, the grandma. What do you think, Grandma? You've been sleeping with him 24 hours.
Right. I mean, he doesn't really move his arms and legs on his own, but eventually he will be able to again. He's moved his toes, and one day he repositioned his knees, lifted them up all by himself. We were amazed. So the brain just has to relearn it. But he can move them, and then in time he'll be able to really move them all again.
Oh, I feel sad about little, but I think he's like really, really normal. If you can see it, look at that. It's like he's looking somewhere else.
Well, you know, he's starting to track a little bit. So when I was talking to him at commercial break, I was telling him that he's going to go to Disneyland with us next summer, and he just kept staring at me. It's amazing to see this blossoming of this rose come back to life again. It's very historical.
Let's bring Steve. Steve one is he's an attorney and he's also a journalist. Until today, he's a journalist. And what do you think about little Christopher? Little Christopher drawn when he was 17 months old, and now they're working on it too.
I missed the earlier part, but will this affect brain development as he gets older? And what about mental processes and things of that sort? Has he been injured for life, or is there an attempt to be able to bring back normal development, hopefully?
That's a good question. We were talking earlier about baby Eden Carlson that was actually pronounced dead for 4 months back east, and she was completely restored by Dr. Paul Hart, and she was on the Today Show about 9 months ago. So she's relearning how to walk, but her mental capacity is normal to her age right now. And she was treated for about 2 years. So we have great optimism for Christopher and the other babies. And we're putting a call out there. You know, we know there's a lot of babies that are in this condition, and we would like to know who they are so we can start the treatment as well. Arielle, our website is helpwarriorsnow.org, helpwarriorsnow.org. And if they get a hold of us, we can start helping these other babies in this condition. There's no reason why they have to.
Because that's the key to a person's life, and you know, if the effects are nominal in terms of growing up, then you know the physical parts of it you can work around. It's the mental parts that are the key to survival.
Yeah, it's true. Cynthia, let me ask you something. I know there's a lot of social media out there that bashing around other people. Is it, oh, you should not be doing that. You're hurting the little boy or you're hurting the kids. You didn't hear nothing like that, right? Because so many
Yeah.
probably, no, everything is
No,
fully
yeah.
support, right? Fully
Encouraging,
support.
right? And I've seen not just Eden, I've seen other amazing stories of other children that have fully recovered, and may have taken some of them 4 years, but they're fully restored, walking, talking, normal, just like you and I, and you would have never known. It's amazing.
I
It's
know.
faith. It's
Yeah,
faith. You have
yeah.
that faith in what you're doing. That's the key.
So this is a beauty about our television. Look at that. My co-host is live right now inside of our story. And pretty soon what? We're gonna have a story around the globe, and you're gonna be flying all over the world and talk to the veterans.
We're ready to go. Our hyperbaric techs are all over the world. Our specialist for cancer is in Australia. We're working with cerebral palsy out of Canada. We're working with Lyme's disease, autism, Parkinson's, MS. We're seeing absolutely unprecedented test results now coming from all over the world. So the International Hyperbaric Medical Foundation is having their convention in Denver in August. And so that'll be specializing on the breakthroughs of cancer. So we're very, very excited, and I'm honored to be the voice for so many amazing experts all over the world. So
You know,
I'm
what the
very
key
honored.
is with new media or social media, you can exchange the valuable information. Years ago, they weren't sharing as often. Today, you
Right.
have a breakthrough. Tomorrow, the world knows about it, and you can
Yeah,
share the
social
details.
media. That's a powerful of social media. In fact, this is funny because I've been doing social media right from day one, and I got a call for someone else who said, "Can you please remove the social media?" This is from the biggest casino here. I'm not gonna mention their name, and I was so excited to promote the restaurant, new coming restaurant, because I have my friends there. I sent people to apply for a job, and this biggest casino in town saying, please remove the social media that you did because we will do it ourselves. So that means I was so surprised. So they had to text me, and I said, remove it. So I remove it. I hide it, because they're the one who's gonna do their own advertising, commercial marketing. I said, hey, I did it because they're my friend, and I said I have a friend there, and I sent people to apply for a job there, but I'm not gonna mention who they are. And that's the powerful of social media, because like the other night I showed you, remember, almost 200 people are watching me live doing the sales of the condo in the Philippines, and I'm gonna shout those out later on. So that's the beauty of that. So if someone are watching us right now, little Christopher needed the help, support, maybe medical bills, and support on all medicine.
Yes, the Arielle, we have a dream. My partner and I, Barry Muse, he's a former colonel, combat fighter pilot from Vietnam. He's my partner in Imagine Now, our charity, and we want to open up Christopher's house. It would be a home that we could open up, and babies that have a near drowning can come right away and start getting treatment immediately and have their families
That would be amazing.
and able to stay with them and see the
That'd be
process.
very amazing.
So as quick as we can get to them with oxygen after a drowning, the better it is, obviously.
As a lawyer, I'm wondering, because from what you're saying, some of the treatment is experimental therapy and the like. Have you
Yes.
found much resistance, if all, if any, from insurance companies and other official providers saying, well, you're not covered because we don't have abilities to do experimental therapy, and we have to show it works and so forth? Have you been facing that type of hostility?
Yeah, that's a good question. The process that we have been going through, because the science is coming out so stellar and we can prove it's all about the molecules, right? If the molecules match and they work, then that's science. And so now the insurance companies, believe it or not, are talking to doctors about finding something new rather than medication after medication after find something new. So they're starting to open up to this technology. And I can't name the insurance company now, but it's $1 billion insurance company that I've been dealing with that is this close to covering hyperbaric. So we are definitely blanketing this country and standing up for the people and just bringing these alternative, healthy, very powerful technologies and therapies to the American people. So it's starting to happen.
That's pretty cool. So what do you think Cynthia, this question to you. What's the doctors tells you? What is the improvement of little Christopher?
Well, our neurologist, he released us, said he never needs to ever see him again, since he took him off his meds. The doctors are stunned. They really don't really know what to do. And this is a learning process for us, all the different alternative therapies that we've had done for him. It's a learning process, and eventually there will be a protocol exactly what new children will do when it comes out.
All right, we'll be right back on the third segment. We'll talk about more little Christopher.